You are watching the Big Dog Postgame Show, brought to you by Viener Foregates and the big dog himself, Rick Jaklitsch, at the Jaklitsch Law Group. Good evening from College Park. This is the Big Dog Postgame Show. Maryland 77, Minnesota 71. I'm Wayne. It's Rick Jaklitsch, the big dog. Derik Queen looked like the Derik Queen from a few weeks ago.
Boy, 27 points. He really controlled the second half. They did a good job getting the ball to him. And Wayne, he's such a good foul shooter. That made the difference for him. Just nailing those shots at the line.
Right. Well, you have the privilege of sitting right next to the court. This is a guy that is so smooth that you can't really tell how fast he's going. He looks like he's gliding, he's blowing by people and dunking the ball. What's he look like from 5 feet away?
It looks like he's on cruise control. I mean, everything is smooth. Sometimes it looks like the game just comes so easy to him. He's just gliding through. But he does everything well. You know what the biggest thing to me as a freshman is? He doesn't foul. He's really smart and a great foul shooter. He knows how to roll the basket. He's got a complete game.
He does.
But he's got to stop taking stupid threes.
Well, at some point, if you talk to your NBA people, he's got to make those to actually be effective. And I remember when Sticks was here, and he finally, now it took him a little while, started to make those. But the Derik Queen that we saw today wasn't the same guy for the past, I'd say, 3 games. The Washington, Oregon, you got to see those up close. What happened to him on the road there?
So Washington, remember they had a 9-point lead with about 8 minutes left. And between Derik Queen and Jacoby Gillespie, they averaged 35, 36 points a game between them. They had 5 points in that game. Jacoby had 1 point. And I'm sitting there when they're 9 points ahead saying, can they win a game without this point guard scoring points? The answer was no. Oregon, they played really well, but it was just a shooting contest.
Got Mason and Bruce waiting in the wings, and they'll talk more about tonight, but I'll have to talk about that road trip because not that many people got to go. What was it like for the first time, the Terps being on the road at Washington and then in Oregon?
Well, Seattle's a beautiful city, except it rains all the time, as everybody knows. Remember, Lewis and Clark were there for 106 days. They saw the sun 6 days. Well, it was the same thing for our Terps out there. They never saw the sun.
Well, what was the building like?
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful arena. But it's 2 arenas where we should have brought 2 wins up. They played really poorly, I thought, against Washington. They were sleepwalking in the first half. Oregon, they played well, shot well, and Oregon just was a little deeper at the end of that game.
And then UCLA, you were on the show a couple nights ago. Maryland picks it up. And then Maryland catches Minnesota about 44 points. Maryland finally gets the lead. And then, well, Mason and Bruce will tell you what happened after that. Queen 27 and 7 boards, and Gillespie 16, 5 boards, 7 assists, and Rodney Rice gets 20. Terrapins, oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, the first half, we were 3 for 12 from 3, right? We shot 40% from the floor. They were 55% from 3, and they shot over 50% from the floor. You knew their offense was not going to keep up that kind of shooting. Terps clamped down the defense, and that changed the game.
It did, and we will be back in a moment with Mason and Bruce. Maryland 77, Minnesota 71, and here's a word from Rick Jaklitsch and Coach Willard, and we'll be back in a moment.
Good Terps.
So Terp fans, if your family's injured in a car crash, you'd be barking mad not to call Rick and the Big Dogs at the Jaklitsch Law Group at 855-BIG-DOG-1.
But as you know, Coach, it's not the last win, it's the next win that's so important. And that's why we continue to hustle, continue to work so hard for all of our clients to earn that name, the Big Dogs from the small firm. Just like you do. You get your guys hustling all the time.
That's why we love you, Rick.
And most of all,
Go Terps!
Back here at Xfinity Center, Maryland beats Minnesota 77-71. Bruce, choppy there in the first half, but the Terps finished strong.
I would have liked to have been in the locker room at halftime, okay? Because I don't know what was said, but we saw a different team come out, and Derik was just unbelievable, all right? Unbelievable. 19 points in the second half, beating everybody down the court. He was great. But they covered that in the first half, basically. Now, we go to Northwestern on Thursday. Then we come back home to Nebraska. Is this a shot for us?
It is. You could say that. Arguably, right now you sit at 3-3 in league play. You have the opportunity to get to 5-3 in league play, and that closes you close to that magic number, Bruce. We have it somewhere between 11 and 12 wins in the conference. The Terps need to find their way into the dance. These next two crucial quad 1 opportunity on Thursday, quad 2 opportunity back here at Xfinity Sunday at noon.
And both games, I mean, Thursday, look, they're on the road. It'll probably be a pick'em game. Sunday, they'll definitely be a favorite. But those are the games you have to win because there's some real tough games coming up. You got 2 games from Michigan State left. You got a lot left. But at 5-3, Mason, that gives you a shot to go 7-5 and reach that 12-goal win that we've talked about to make sure you make it to the dance. So a great comeback with the win Friday night, a little sloppy early on, but to get the W, that's what matters.
And we talk about this team coming out and the way they played today. This building absolutely dead tonight. You go from Friday to tonight, and it's just Maryland needs the students back.
Monday night, 6:30 is just not the right time for a basketball game. But it's a matter of FS1. Fox wanted it tonight, and they got it. But the team came back to win. Great effort. That's all that matters is they got the win. Derik Queen's on a roll, and one of these days, Derik and Juju are going to both have that great game, and hopefully it's against a Michigan State or an Oregon type team or somebody, or Illinois, somebody who's leading the way. But it's tough to win on the road in the Big Ten. It's just a fact.
And you have to say, though, Juju keeps them in it. He makes big shots there early in the game, and then DQ comes in, finishes out. Bruce, another big night and a quiet big night, though, from Rodney Rice.
Unbelievable. He wound up with 20 points. It did seem like he got a lot up down the end. And like I say, Rodney, he's not bashful. He likes to put up the shots, all right? And, you know, you need people like that. And he can hit them, too. So it's not like he's throwing up bricks or anything. He's scoring at a good pace. And look, the bottom line is another double, all right? Hey, Maryland won twice, the Commanders won for you, and the Ravens won for me. I'd say it was a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good couple of days here. That will wrap us up. Terps beat Minnesota 77-71. Thanks for watching.
All right, have a great week, everybody.